What up, fam? So this is Soul Calibur 6. I want you to pick this game up, given that we both have like supercomputers or whatever. This game is super fun. I recently discovered that I have the ability to make tutorial videos for my characters and share them with you that way, fam. And I don't know, I just thought it'd be interesting for me to do. For this tutorial, we'll be doing Spawn. First and foremost, I'd like to point out that this version of Spawn is Spawn from the movie. Of course, Todd McFarlane made a movie starring Michael Jai White as Spawn, and this was the design for the movie costume. I'm under the impression that this costume is actually the same costume or somewhat very close to this version that will be used for Mortal Kombat 11, which will be coming out, I believe, in the beginning of next year. One thing that was outstanding, we'll do the weapon last. One thing that was outstanding for me as I did these quick Google searches that I mentioned previously was that most of the character creations of Spawn that I've seen were horrible. They were horrible of course I'm saying this respectfully, but they were horrible I guess because there was so much jank. I absolutely hate seeing any character in Soul Calibur 6 that has jank to it. When I refer to jank, I'm of course referring to, well, mostly physical things, but there's other things that I consider janky too. One of the most outstanding being the character style that you choose for your character. Your voice. Sometimes the voice can be really janky and cringy. I just hate when things are off. One of the most outstanding things for me when I refer to jank with any character that I see in Soul Calibur 6 will of course be texturing. I hate janky texturing. Your character shouldn't be designed to look good from far away. Instead, your character should be designed to look good from every angle and to look good up close. If you can't make the character look good when viewing it up close, chances are you failed with creating an accurate character. This of course goes with anything that I do artistically. Yes, I consider creating a character in a character creation program for a game to be art. But basically, whenever I do anything artistically, my goal is of course to be authentic. I want anything I create to be as official and as authentic as humanly possible. The reasoning for that is, I guess, because things bother me. I don't like looking at things and having even the most minute detail stand out, because I'll just focus or harp on that thing. Sure, I probably should get out of that mindset, but I'm not, because I take pride in being a perfectionist when I create things, and I think this should be no different. I tried to do a quick Google search. I would rather find something on Google that's accurate, or even a good creation of this character on Google. That way it saves me the time and effort of having it created, of course. But in that same breath, I know that I can create it myself, so I just went ahead and did it. The thing you should focus on when creating anything in Soul Calibur 6, of course this is my opinion, but is texturing. You have to have good textures, because Soul Calibur 6 tends to do close-ups on the character, and it does it quite often. Literally every time the round starts and every time the round ends, on the versus screen, etc., there will always be a close-up. With that being said, if you have cringy or janky stuff in your character, it's going to be glaring, and for some reason when I see those things, it throws me off a lot. It makes me feel like I'm just playing with some bad created character, so I typically avoid it. I know I sound like a broken record there, but I'm just trying to make that adamant to you guys, get that point across or whatever. Whenever you create a Spawn character, especially in Soul Calibur 6. One of the things you have to focus on is that Spawn was already created for Soul Calibur. Todd McFarlane actually gave the rights to Soul Calibur for Spawn quite some time ago on I believe the PlayStation. Don't hold me to it. I think Heihachi actually was in the PlayStation version. He may have been on Spawn may have been on Xbox. But long story short, this isn't the first time Spawn was in a Soul Calibur game. And in that previous game, Spawn actually didn't have Letha. For those of you who don't read the books, Letha is Spawn's cloak or his cape. In Soul Calibur, he never wears that freaking cloak ever. The reason for that is because he's holding it. Letha actually has the ability, or rather, Spawn has the ability to turn Letha into his weapon. With that being said, in the game, he created what's called Agony Axe. Unfortunately, in this game, you don't have the ability to create Agony Axe, even though Axe is a weapon in the game. But I just went with something that I think is really cool, or rather, what I consider to be the first, not the second, best thing. Spawn is, generally, he's a Hell Spawn. With that being said, he is from Hell. He is created for the sole purpose of, well, first and foremost, fighting angels, but secondly, he is a reaper of souls. What weapon in this game would you guys consider a weapon for reaping? I know, it sounds like I'm insulting your intelligence when I ask that, but of course, it's the scythe. So, I put the scythe on him. I gave him Zaslamel's fighting, or rather, weapon style, and of course, I colored it the exact same color palette as the Agony Axe. The reason for that is because he's not wearing Letha in this version, and also the Agony Axe has a very specific color scheme. So yeah, super authentic. Personally, I think the scythe is a way better weapon to give Spawn than an axe. Even though I know Spawn is probably a brute or a character who focuses more on strength. Not sure if I went through the voice already. But yeah, I think the scythe is a really good weapon for this character. But there you go, fam. This is the version of Spawn from the movie again, played by Michael Jai White. It was released years ago. Very minimalistic. As you can see, it is very accurate. You can't screen arch this character. You guys will know when you're done creating and or playing with it. And I have to say, this is probably the best Spawn creation you guys will get if you're aiming to have Spawn in your game. Again, no disrespect for those of you who have attempted to create a Spawn. Thanks for being fans enough to actually create this character for the game. But honestly, if I see so many failed attempts, or if I feel offended by seeing so many creations that aren't accurate enough, this is what I'll resort to. I'll just create everything myself. Again, fam, pick up Soul Calibur 6. For everybody else, if you're not my friend, hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hope you can use this. And have a nice day.